Hello, lovely people. Well, it's been a minute since I've been out here. I hope you all are doing well. I've missed putting content out here. I have been recording, but I just haven't been editing and getting things into video format. So life's just been really busy with lots of good stuff going on, and I had to reprioritize my time. So finally getting around to editing some of the content I've been recording since the summer of 2025. So I'll be sharing more videos over the next couple of weeks. But in the meantime, here is the first one, and I hope you enjoy it. Hello, lovely people, and welcome to my channel. I'm Stephanie, and this is Evolved Chit. It's my little corner of the world where I like to talk about spirituality, metaphysical stuff, universal laws, and psychology. So I was speaking with a client recently, and we were talking about Liora. And if you know, you know. But if you don't know, Liora was a spiritual teacher and twin flames coach. I don't know if coach is a good word, but it's said that her content and her teachings are the foundation of the teachings of a lot of popular twin flames coaches out here on YouTube. So, and if you check out some of my content, I have found some of Leora's content thanks to the Internet Wayback Machine. So if you're interested in learning more about who she was and what was on her website, check the description for the link to the article on my blog about her and her content. So anyway, I was speaking with this client and we were talking about, and this is someone who found my channel because I talk about Liora, and she was interested in finding out more information about her too. And in this conversation, I could see almost immediately where she was getting stuck with her energy. And this is somebody who's very smart and does well in her life and pretty self-aware. But what she didn't realize is that the energy can be really sneaky. So I want to talk about that, what that energy is, that inner narrative, your vibration, which is your frequency. And if all this twin flame stuff is true, then they say that you have a shared frequency. And when you balance out that energy, that is when you magnetize in your twin flame. So that's why this topic is so important. And what I'll talk about is based in Leora's teachings. So this stuff is not hard. What's hard is managing your thoughts and your energy. That's the toughest part. It's about consistency. So I know when we're all on this journey, we want it to be magical. But really, what's magical is you. So remember that when you're working through all this, that you are actually more powerful and amazing than perhaps maybe you believe. So before I jump into today's topic, if you are new here, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. It's lovely to have you. And you know the drill, hit the thumbs up button and like this video. And please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to get all notifications. And if you have questions or comments or just want to share where you're at on your journey, I would love to hear from you. So please drop a note in the comment section of this video. Okay, so let's talk about energy. So I just want to say, I was triggered by all the twin flame stuff, like back in 2017. And you can learn more about my story on my website if you feel so inclined. But I want to just provide a little bit of a disclaimer here. So first of all, I have been steeped in the metaphysical world pretty much my entire life. Some of my earliest memories are of things that relating to the metaphysical world. So when I happened upon all the twin flames content and this experience, I did not know what was going on with me. And I've been a reader for a long time, a Reiki master. I always understood energy, but I didn't realize what my inner narrative was doing. And when we get onto autopilot, it's easy just to run with that inner narrative. So your inner narrative is an energy. And whether you are acting upon it or not, or saying it or sharing it, just having that emotion, it's an energy. And that creates our frequency. And that's our vibration. So if you are familiar with Leora's content, then you know that she was also a channel. So she channeled the archangels and ascendant masters as well. And her teaching said that the key to balancing that inner narrative, if you are projecting um, lower vibrational thoughts or intentions, um, catch them. And how do you catch them? You practice self-inquiry. So when I was pulling all of these elements together, when I was navigating the runner-chaser dynamics with my twin flame, I had all of these pieces. I was like, okay, it's my vibe, it's my energy, it's my thoughts, it's my assumptions, it's my what I'm presuming or assuming, you know. So I had to get a hold of that. And what did I do? I practiced meditation. So these are the things that I advise my clients and pretty much anyone I talk to or read for. You really are your own best psychic. It's a matter of tapping into that well. And how do we do that? Honestly, it's a very solitary journey when you're going through all this stuff. You can use these Facebook groups and other groups that are out there, but really the work is on you. So I'm trying to help you shortcut this by telling you the little tips and tricks and things that you can use to help you balance that inner narrative. So let's use an example. So my client, she was in this relationship with the person she believes is her twin flame, and they had a separation, and then they reconnected. Now the relationship that they were in, it was about a year in length, and then they had their separation. So she was being triggered, and her attachment style and all those emotions and thoughts and beliefs about her worthiness and value and such, they were coming up. And she said she could see it now, like looking back on it, she can see when she felt like he was pushing away. She was assuming that he was, with someone else. And she said that as far as she knows, he was never with anyone else, that she just held this belief that that relationships aren't for her, that good things don't last. So she took it a little bit further and assumed then that he would likely leave her for someone else. So holding on to that belief, even though in this case it sounds like it was not true, her vibe or energy, it was projecting, it was pushing, it was creating an expectation. It was almost as if she was waiting for the other shoe to drop. And waiting is probably one of the most impactful energies that we can put out there in general, or especially with this twin flames journey. So she recalled that it had been a while. She had been presuming that he was with someone else, and it literally just pushed him away. He just said that he felt like he needed some space. And so they decided to be friends, and maybe friends with benefits is what it sounds like. But, she realizes that even within that agreement, that it wasn't healthy for her. And it led her to have some resentment and disappointment when things weren't what she had hoped they would be, because she was accommodating him. And so what this experience was showing her was she was ignoring some red flags within herself and in the relationship dynamic. And rather than talking about it or trying to work on some of her insecurities, she was projecting it onto him. So during our discussion, we had identified what those insecurities are and some things that she may want to consider doing to address them, because they sound like they're long-standing issues. So why am I sharing all this with you? Because that's the energy, that belief. If you believe that somebody is going to step out on you, then more than likely they're going to step out on you in one way or another. If you believe that good things don't last, then it is likely that good things won't last. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So this is why it's so important to conspire for your good. Now, that's not to say that it diminishes things that had happened to you, or it doesn't make them untrue. But what it does is it helps you reframe what those things are, and how you can look at them rather than being held captive by them, or a victim, victimizing yourself. And if we really look at what the foundation is of the twin flame journey, it is transcending the lower vibrational stuff. If this person is an energetic match, then it is said that it's supposed to be our natural highest frequency. So that's the intention of it. I remember when I was in the runner chaser dynamic with my twin flame, I could tell, like, it was like clockwork. And that as soon as I would have that assumption, or I would try to, put control over the situation, he would step out. And then as soon as I stopped waiting or putting energy on it that was anything other than just like, what an amazing person, of course I want to spend time with him. And I'm a pretty cool person too. Of course he wants to spend time with me. So, rather than beating myself up because of my own insecurities or whatever social media is saying is wrong with me, or, projecting that maybe I'm not good enough for him, or, he's not interested or whatever, I would flip that. And that is what raises your vibration. So, and during those times when that was happening, not only would it bring him in, it brought in other people too. People from my past, not just romantic relationships, but just relationships and previous connections, work connections, friendships, maybe people I haven't talked to in a while just because of time and distance. So that's why it's so cool to do these energy experiments. If you are somebody who has a lot of negativity, like a negative thought, maybe you don't think highly of yourself, or whatever, that whatever that inner narrative may be, what can you do about it? So first of all, developing your self-concept is absolutely key in all of this. It is truly the foundation in that, because it allows you to see where you need to bridge the gap. And in essence, that's what the twin flame is showing us, like where we are now to where we where we have our potential in terms of our ascension. So I thought I was pretty buttoned up and had my stuff together, but I was wrong. So, sharing this with you from my own personal experience, and then helping other people, not just people on twin flames and into the twin flame stuff, but people just with their relationships, with work. It's really amazing how just flipping that script can change so much in your life. And a lot of it can be really simple. Now, some people need and choose to go into therapy or do other things to kind of deal with long-standing challenges and issues. Other people are just like, oh my God. Like for me, after a while, I was like, wait a second. I'm the problem. What am I doing here? So, I had seen like therapists every now and then. I'd go talk to a therapist that I had trusted and had developed a relationship with over the years. I would maybe go to like a drumming circle or something like that, just to kind of reconnect. So again, everyone is different. You got to find what works for you. But those are the things that helped me reconnect to myself. And it all started with my self-concept. So with that, to know yourself is to love yourself. So understanding who you are, and especially if you have been through challenging things in your life. Many people who this is happening to have had major emotional disruptions at some point in their life, or perhaps trauma that they did not deal with or reconcile. So if this person is your twin flame, one of the best ways to determine that is to balance your energy. So going back to this client, what we talked about doing, I had suggested to her that I helped her identify her energy, like where her energy centers are, and identify what she was feeling in each one of her chakras, because to me, that is like the other best thing to really know about yourself is your energy, and vibes don't lie. Now, it doesn't mean necessarily like, something awful is happening. Sometimes we feel something in one of our chakras and we're like, oh my God. Really, it's just like early warning device, like, this feels icky. Or why is the vibe off here? Or what am I doing? Why am I overthinking this? So that's why it's really important to get connected to your chakras and your energy in general. So I have a lot of articles out on my blog. If you haven't been there yet, I highly recommend checking them out because I talk about all this stuff. So I have an article on developing your self-concept. I have a free ebook on my website about that, and just organized everything that I had used over the years into a really simplified ebook. And I actually have a new ebook out there now too called Wired for Soul. And that one is for purchase. And it is more about like understanding the twin flame journey. What is it? And, how do you understand this energy and what can you do to balance your energy? So it very simply summarizes all of this that I talk about and the things that I have done to end the runner chaser dynamic with my twin flame. So, by understanding your energy and tapping into your energy centers, they really are an early warning device. I use it for everything because the energy comes up all the time. Even though I have this awareness now and I can, sense things in a very different way than I did when I first started out on all the twin flames journey back in 2017. Like I can feel it now and I'm like, why am I feeling that? Okay, what am I feeling? So self-inquiry. So by tapping into your energy centers, you can tap into that energy. It's often like stagnant energy, stored emotional energy that's like stressed or anxious or hyper or whatever you may have going on. Everyone is different. For me, it is anxiety. And when I feel it, I can tap into it. Well, why am I anxious right now? I'm not being chased by a dinosaur. I mean, the world is a little bit weird at the moment, but what can I do about it? So I just tap into that understanding. And this is where you can practice some self-soothing. And getting back to Liora, who we talked about in the beginning, this is her technique. And it's that simple. The hardest part is catching it. And then the self-soothing and doing that consistently. And instead of doing that, what we often end up doing, and I'm raising my hand right now, you can't see it because I'm recording this audio only, we numb out. We seek content. We look for oracle readings. We look for readings for the collective. We look for, a reason to blame astrology, which is rightly so. It's energy, but still, we're the alchemists. So really, anything that's going on outside of you, you can perceive it from your perspective. And what does that mean? Things are always going to be happening. But how we look at it, how we approach it, how we fit ourselves into that scene is totally on ourselves. It's totally on the individual. So how are you choosing to show up? Is it projection or is it conspiring for good? Is it conspiring for your good? Is it conspiring for the good of others? Is it conspiring for the good of the world? Because I know there's been a lot of content out there in the spiritual community over the years about the chosen ones and what that really means. And if we truly take that responsibility seriously, what it means is adopting that level of self-awareness and minimizing the projection of low vibe stuff into the collective consciousness. That's what I believe that it means. So if you're here and you're listening to this, then it's something that you're intended to hear and perhaps reflect upon and see where you're at in your life with your vibes. What are you putting out in the world right now? What are you projecting onto yourself or others? And that's why this experience has happened. And the twin flame, that person is our mirror. And they are showing us where we are versus what our possibilities are. And the faster you recognize that, and the faster you see what's going on in your inner narrative and how that is your vibration and your frequency and how that inner world is creating your outer world, I'm telling you, the faster you can adopt that, it'll blow your mind. It's really not magical. You are the magic. We are the magic. We are the alchemists. We can choose how we want to bend and shape this energy. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You are worthy of what it is that you desire. And now it's time for you to get clear on what it is you actually desire. So please go to my website and download that free ebook and do those exercises, just real simple exercises that'll help you get clear on who you are and what you want to experience in this life. And one thing I would recommend doing is, I know a lot of people stop by because they're interested in twin flames. Put the person out of the equation right now. What this person has shown you is that you are desiring a connection. But what is that connection? And this is an opportunity to explore who you are in a wonderful, loving, beautiful relationship that you desire. How do you show up? How does your partner show up? What is your relationship like? And this allows you to get into that state. And if you follow all the law of assumption stuff and Neville Goddard, this is being in the state of the wish fulfilled. And if you go back to the twin flame stuff, the twin flame is a shared frequency. And that frequency, I believe, is said to be like the frequency of love. It's like the highest frequencies or the higher frequencies. So where are you at on that scale of resonance? Are you lower vibe? Can you attempt to achieve a higher vibration? This is where Abraham Hicks comes into play. I love Abraham Hicks content. Sometimes we're going to be low vibe. I get low vibe too. I'm crabby. I like to yell at people when I'm driving, but we all do it. I have to laugh about it. And then, I'll put on some good music. So, but can we achieve like the next rung on the ladder of the higher vibration? Can we be a little more hopeful if you're feeling a little down now, can you be hopeful that this situation will turn itself around? Can you be hopeful that things are going to work out for you? And then the other side of it too is that there is a little bit of work that goes into this. And some of that is just, again, practicing and developing your self-concept and allowing you to get clear on who you are and what you want to experience in this life. And one thing that can be helpful, because people I've talked to, and even myself, there were times where I'm like, I don't even know who I am anymore. Like, this is just really stirring up all sorts of stuff, like of reflection and contemplation and challenging things that I, once believed. Sometimes you need to use tools like numerology and astrology that can help you reconnect to who you are and your soul blueprint using those tools. So I have an article on my website about using twin flames, or using those tools to decode your twin flame experience. And you can use things in your astrology chart, and you can find this information for free. There's a ton of it out on the internet about your north node and your south node. And if you think about it, your north node is like your north star in this lifetime. And a way to consider it is that it's an opportunity for you to achieve your highest path in this life, your ascension. And the south node stuff is a blend of things. It can be lower vibrational stuff that you're looking to transcend from your past life in this life. It's your skills. So how can you use those things to help you ascend in this lifetime? So they're opposites, our north node and south node. They're the opposites in the astrological in the astrological wheel. So check that out, and also learn more about your numerology. I have some resources that are free, and you can go run some reports and learn more about yourself, like your soul urge number, your destiny. And if you are curious, like if you really believe all the twin flames, like want to know if it's real or not, you can use tools like numerology and astrology to help you better understand the connection And I talk about that in that article. So make sure you check out the links in the description. And when I did that stuff with my twin flame, it just about like, it blew my mind. I couldn't believe like what I was seeing. So, and still accurate to this day. So it's pretty powerful. And these are simple tools that you can use to help you in like a spiritual sense. If you're into the metaphysical and psychic arts, you can check those out. And of course, if you need some additional support along the way, I do offer coaching sessions and I would love to talk to you. So what I like to do is just connect with you and what's going on in your world and identify your blocks. And sometimes we don't see them. Like I didn't see mine until I saw them. And I never thought, like when I was going through it, I'm like, I can't believe that would, like, these are some of my blocks that I had to work through. But I actually had a very long time friend give me some very honest feedback that I didn't necessarily want to hear or didn't want to see. So in terms of that, is what I like to do as well is provide some insights based on what I'm picking up with your energy, and also using other tools like astrology and numerology and your experience and even your attachment style to help you understand your patterns and where your energy might be at. And then very simple tools and techniques that you can use and apply to your life very quickly to help you catch that energy and balance it out. And the most important thing about this is consistency. So I had a client ask me recently, she's like, why don't you have like one of those chat rooms? And I would love to, because I like to talk and I've just been really busy. It's why it's been a long time since I put something out here because I've been doing some travel. I'm getting ready to travel again for work. And just kind of, I moved and had a lot going on, but I've thought about doing those chat rooms and those groups. I did a couple when I was like early on in my journey, and I think that they can be really helpful. But what they offer is continuity. And that means that in your mind, you are going into a chat, and this chat is going to help you balance your energy. But it's not the chat that's balancing your energy. It's you that's balancing your energy. So if you can change that belief that you can balance your energy by developing your self-concept, better understanding your attachment style, which is really important, at an article on my blog, check it out. And you can take a very short free quiz to help you understand your attachment style. That to me was the game changer, is knowing my attachment style. Hands down, the biggest thing. And then that's when I found Liora's content, like her actual ebook that kind of talked about the sacred keys. And I was like, oh my God, this is attachment style theory. And you just use like a psychological technique to help you understand, like practicing self-inquiry. Why am I feeling this way? Why would I think that about that person? Why would I think that about myself? So very simple questions. The thing is you got to be honest with yourself. And that's probably the hardest thing. So just know this is happening for you because you are here to live a very full, wonderful, amazing life. So I hope this was helpful. And this is just a reminder that you are loved, you are amazing, you are awesome, you are necessary, and you are really freaking needed right now. So step into your power. And until next time, I'm sending you lots of love and good vibes for your journey.